This is a production of WKNO Memphis. Production funding for Sports Files is made possible in part by
Infinity of Memphis has moved to Germantown Road, just half-mile north of Wolf Chase Galleria, and is proud to support WKNO for its quality broadcasting and service to our community. Quality and service? No wonder Infinity of Memphis feels at home on WKNO. The Lighting Source, major line distributor of commercial and industrial lighting, including hard-to-find bulbs and fixtures, as well as a broad range of LED products. With 35 years' experience servicing lighting needs, The Lighting Source proudly sponsors Sports Files.
The WKNO Production Fund, the WKNO Endowment Fund, and by viewers like you. Thank you.
Today on Sports Files, we'll get you ready for tomorrow's big game with our Super Bowl 50 special. The biggest sporting event of the year takes place tomorrow as Denver and Carolina collide in Super Bowl 50. Today we'll preview the game with two former NFL players, one of which participated in the Super Bowl. We will also head to the kitchen with one of the area's top chefs to give you some ideas for your Super Bowl party cuisine. But first, some sad news as legendary Memphis sportscaster Big Jack Eaton passed away earlier in the week at the age of 86. Jack was the sports director at Action News 5 from 1956 until his retirement in 2001. He served many years as the voice of the Memphis Tigers football and men's basketball programs and was known for his unabashed bias towards the hometown team and his disdain for rival Louisville. Big Jack also spent plenty of time on the airwaves of my radio station, Sports 56 WHBQ. It was an honor to have known him. Okay, from a big personality to a big game. The big game. Tomorrow is Super Bowl 50, and here to preview the game with me is former NFL wide receiver Russell Copeland and former NFL defensive lineman Marcus Bell. A big game preview panel, and it's next on Sports Files. Russell, Marcus, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
And we appreciate it. I do want to tell everybody, Stanley Morgan, the former Patriot great, was expected to join us as well. He became ill, unfortunately, as we taped the show. Tomorrow, the big game. You had a chance to participate Super Bowl 28. I know, Marcus, you were on IR for the Giants when they beat the Patriots in 2007. Let me start with you, Russell. What is it like as a player the week of the Super Bowl, preparing for a game, but knowing that there's so many outside variations of things that are happening that could affect you?
Well, Super Bowl 28 was a little different because we had a week instead of 2 weeks to prepare. So as soon as we won the championship game against Kansas City, we had to get tickets ready. We had to get our families prepared to go to the game. So a lot of that was a lot of rush. You know, coming in as a rookie, I had a lot of things to try to get prepared for. But things did go smoothly. I say around Tuesday, I was getting prepared and being ready for the Super Bowl coming on Sunday.
Marcus, as we mentioned, you were on IR, so you weren't around the guys, but obviously you've spoken to the guys. You knew exactly what they were doing as they prepared for that game. I mean, what is that like?
I think the biggest thing is kind of like what Russell said, is basically early on trying to get your family situated, get your tickets and everything lined up. So by midweek or so, going into the week before the game, you can get your mind hunkered down and focus on what it needs to get prepared for the big game.
Is there a lot of film study, and are you going hard in practice that week, or you pretty much know exactly what you guys need to do and you just got to go out and do it?
Well, I think it really depends on if you're familiar with the opponent or not. You know, we were going against the Dallas Cowboys, so that was a repeat in Super Bowl 27. But we watched a lot of film and did some things on the plane, and once we got there and we got our ticket squared away, we're talking about Jim Kelly and the hurry-up offense, a great leader. So we definitely wanted to be on the same page. We kind of knew what was going on with Dallas because we had played them earlier in the season, but we just wanted to make sure that we can attack them in certain areas.
Marcus, it drives me crazy when a player says, oh, it's just another game. It's not another game.
Obviously, I mean, even from the fans and anybody that's watching the game, we all know it's not just another game. But I think more so a lot of athletes try to do that because one thing you want to try to do I would think leading up is try to keep yourself calm. Don't peak too soon before the day gets here. And I think once the day starts, once the ball is kicked off, it's another football game. That may be true after the fact, but leading up to it, you don't want to peak too soon, so you want to actually just be on the incline as the week going, so when you get to the game, you're ready to roll.
We have some great storylines within the game itself and the quarterback situation for both teams. You have an aging veteran, future Hall of Famer who could be playing in his final game and more than likely is. Right. And then you have this stud, Cam Newton, who won a Heisman Trophy and a national championship at Auburn and looks to be the new generation quarterback. Right. Marcus, let me start with you as a former defensive lineman in the NFL.
Okay.
Strategy to defend Peyton Manning, knowing he doesn't have the arm strength like he used to, but he's still as smart as anybody.
Right.
And then Cam Newton, who's basically a linebacker, but really is a quarterback because he has an amazing arm and great touch. How do you defend both those quarterbacks?
Well, from playing against Peyton more than once, I'll start with him. First of all, he's a guy that you're going into, mentally, he's going to try to beat you. If you have a weakness, he's going to try to expose it. So as a defense, especially as a defensive lineman, first thing you can't do is get frustrated because his goal is to get that ball out quick. And it kind of gets you really frustrated. And that's the whole goal, to get going. And whether you're subbing or trying to play against him, mentally, he's going to try to wear you down, wear you out, and expose you if you make a mistake. So you really got to try to get all 11 guys to be in position, be where you're supposed to be, and play the defense or rally to the ball. This new phenom that we have, it's a guy I like to watch play. I truly do. But I think for us defending him, unless you got the right personnel, and this is just my opinion, it's going to be a tough day. I think we've never seen a guy like him. I mean, I know he said it, and anybody that think you have, that's not true. It's his vertical, his speed, his size, his ability to throw the ball, only with years behind him, processing everything a little better. That's hard to defend. So it's going to take a team effort. I think Wade will probably do a great job getting the game plan ready. But in a nutshell, you got to have the right personnel to be able to match up. If you can match your corners up out there one-on-one, if you keep a guy that can possibly spy him, that could probably defend him, which is hard because he's big as just as many linebackers you have out there, some defensive ends. So I think you got to have the right plan, the right personnel, and I don't think you're going to necessarily stop him. You just want to try to keep him contained. Don't let anybody else beat you. Go ahead and let him do his deal.
Russell?
He's leading the team 17-1, and how he's playing is tremendous. I mean, when you're talking about a guy that's 6'5", 260 pounds, I mean, he runs like a Jim Brown. He throws pinpoint accuracy like Joe Montana. He has a strong arm like Dan Marino, and he has swagger. He has confidence like a Deion Sanders. How do you defend this guy? Well, as you mentioned earlier, Marcus, as far as Wade Phillips, Wade has had 2 weeks to prepare for him. He's not going to prepare for him in the same way as what he did Tom Brady, because Tom Brady is going to be sitting 5 yards, 6 yards, or 8 yards deep. But when you look at him, I don't see anyone from Carolina's wide receivers that actually will demand a double team. Ted Ginn can run, but he's not going to demand a cover 2 or a roll coverage. Now, therefore, you can go man to man, you can take some chances, and you can keep someone inside the box to spot. Will that be Von Miller? Who knows? But Von Miller is definitely a guy that can rush. He can definitely spy, and he can keep up with Cam Newton. That may be the game plan, but I think they would try to confuse Cam a lot.
I think his personality is a breath of fresh air. I love what he brings to the game, that individuality. Some people have an issue with it. Russell, do you have any issues with his brashness and what he does out there?
Definitely not, because most importantly, the organization loves him, his coaches love him, and he's taking control of not only the team, but the entire offense. And he goes out and he has fun. And what you may not know is that we're grown-ups. We're playing in a kid's game. Yeah, there's a lot of money involved, but you want to go out and have fun. And at the end of the day, he's winning, playing this way. He's 17-1, and his team is playing relaxed, and he's a great leader.
Marcus, DeMarcus Ware, Von Miller. Denver is loaded, the #1 defense in the NFL. What makes them so special?
Well, for me, it's the ability to be able to rush the passer without blitzing. Anytime you can rush 4 or 3 guys and get pressure without having to send anybody, you're going to be pretty good. I think they also play the run pretty well with their backers and up front guys. And I think For me, it's just more of the swagger, is more of their mindset on out there with Denver. You know, we got guys that can rush. We got Tele, we got guys that can cover. We got safeties that are hit. I think that's the snowball effect. They feel confident right now. They feel good. They play like that. But to answer that question, the ability to be able to rush the passer and play the run with 3 and 4 guys, that's priceless. At the end of the day, I don't care who you're playing against or what's going on. We can look at prior Super Bowls. You know, we had an undefeated Patriots team coming in against the Giants. It was the pass rush. There was no question about it. Was able to rush 4 guys, get to Tom Brady. The exact same thing happened with Denver played the Patriots. They was able to rush, not blitz. You need more guys to cover. And they're just playing with swag, confidence, and the whole nine.
You can answer this. Nerves, I would imagine they're there. They're there probably regular season games, but the NFL, the Super Bowl's the pinnacle. The nerves. Cam Newton has never played in the Super Bowl. Peyton Manning has played in the Super Bowl, although he has lost 2 of those 3. Do you think nerves could be an issue with Cam Newton?
I think nerves could be an issue with Cam, but when you look at it, this is a young man that has won on every level. He's won in junior college. He went to Auburn. He won in Auburn. He went undefeated in Auburn, took a team that was at the bottom in the SEC and went undefeated. He's the #1 overall pick, Heisman Trophy winner. So he is accustomed to big games. He has matured in 5 years. He's playing outstanding. And as you mentioned earlier, Marcus, he has swagger. And right now he has a whole lot of confidence. And honestly, he has the Superman gesture.
Right.
And if you ask Cam, I don't think Cam thinks there isn't anything that he can do that he can't do on the football field, and he's definitely proven it.
Marcus, on Monday, we're going to be talking about the legacy of Peyton Manning, whether it is his last game or not. If he wins, he's 2-2 in Super Bowls. If he loses, he's 1-3, and I think he would be 13-14 overall in the postseason. What do you think his legacy is?
When we talk about legacies, I think we got to take everything in consideration. And if some people said it's the rings where he got there, but he didn't win, at the end of the day, he's going to go down as one of the best to play the game at the position. In my opinion, and I think in anybody that respects the game opinion, no one man wins a football game on a football team. I think everything that he's done for the game, his ability, I knew a couple guys that played for the coach. They said his preparation, his work ethic is like no other. With that being said, it shows when he goes out. A lot of people try to make if the audibles are real or they fake or whatever it is, he gets the job done. And I think for me, he'll go down as one of the best to play the position.
Give me a quick name other than the quarterbacks who could be the MVP when it's all said and done on Sunday for this game. Obviously, you got to go with who you think is going to win. So give me a name.
If Carolina wins the football game, which I am picking Carolina, I think Jonathan Stewart could easily be the MVP because they are a type of team that's going to run downhill.
Marcus?
It's funny we say that. I'm rolling with Carolina myself, and my biggest thing I've said, if Carolina runs the ball well, there's no question they'll win the game. I'm going to go defensively, and I really think Luke Kuechly is going to be a huge impact of what's going on.
All right, give me the breakdown. Give me about a minute on what you think will actually happen in this game Sunday.
I think it's going to go back and forth because you have 2 great defenses going back and forth. But when I look at when Carolina has the football, I think Cam can be able to do some different things. They can run the football. This is a football team that has ran the ball for over 100 yards, 31 straight games. So you know they can run the football. And I think if they can do that, it opens up the play option. And I think Cam can go wild on that defense and wear them down with his type of running the football and some plays down the middle to his tight end and also Ted Ginn.
You expect it low scoring or high scoring?
It really depends on how the front plays, but I'll say 27-17 Carolina.
27-17 Carolina. According to Vegas, they would cover. The line's about 5.5. Marcus, how do you see it?
I see the game similar like Russ said. I mean, everything, it can all go one way or another depending on how the game flow is going. I'm picking Carolina. I know they can run the ball. I think being able to run the ball is going to change the game up. I think Denver will come out, like I said, with a great game plan. I think early on it's probably going to be a tight game, and I think if you make a couple of adjustments, Cam is going to make his plays. Peyton's going to come back and make some plays. I think Denver defense will make some plays. But I think at the end of the day, the ability to use Jonathan Stewart and run the ball, and is Jonathan getting the ball? Is Cam getting the ball? Is he going to keep it? Is we passing it to Olsen? That's a lot of weapons at the end of the day. And I know the defense is low and they're playing with a swag. But once again, frustration wears on anybody that's playing the game. So I honestly think Denver will get a little frustrated being the #1 defense with the different things that Carolina's going to do. And I think Carolina will finish the game up winning. Scoring-wise, I'm thinking more probably like 30 to probably like 21 myself.
30-21.
Like
so you got them by 9, you got them by 10.
Right.
You have Carolina covering. It's interesting because the Sharks in Vegas seem to want to jump on Denver with that great defense, but I know the betting public right now definitely likes Carolina. I hope it's a great game. I just hope it's not a blowout. It's Carolina, it's Denver tomorrow, and we're looking forward to it. Russell, thank you so much.
Thank you,
appreciate
Greg.
it. Marcus, I can't reach you down there, but thank you so much
No
for your
problem.
time. And have fun. Enjoy the game tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
Russell Copeland, Marcus Bell, and again for the ailing Stanley Morgan, we thank him as well. We'll take a break. Overtime is coming up next. Well, of course, the game is just part of the experience of Super Bowl Sunday. Many of us get together with friends and family and treat the day as one big party. Of course, with a party comes food, lots of food, and hopefully in your case, it's good food. Well, in case it's not, we're here to change all that. More specifically, Chef Ryan Trim is here to do that. Ryan is the owner and executive chef of Sweetgrass Restaurant and Sweetgrass Next Door, located in Midtown Memphis. And he brought his talents to the studio earlier this week. Ryan, as you know, big part of the Super Bowl party is the food, and it looks great. It smells great. We thank you for being here. First of all, what did you bring with you today?
I brought a few different things. You know, I like bar snacks at the Super Bowl.
Sure.
I'm sure you do too. So wings are always something that we do. Nachos, burgers. But I thought we'd talk about our nachos first because that's kind of the big hit at Next Door.
And it's a different take on all these things
Oh,
because a
yeah.
lot of parties have the burgers and the nachos and the wings, but the way you guys make them and which you'll learn to make, folks, is a little bit different.
We
All
try.
right.
We try. We start with a bed of chips. We like to fry ours in house, but anything will do. We then take brisket that we braise for about 8 hours, slow and low, get it nice where we can just shred it apart. We just bury it over the nachos, tons of it. Then we layer a little red chili sauce and then a cheese sauce that we make in house. I think you guys are gonna put that online, right?
We will, yeah. You got both those sauces. We're going to put everything online,
Okay.
but the sauces specifically as well because we won't have time to get into that. But so different types of sauces. And does that make the nachos?
It does. The chili sauce is where I think we really step out. A lot of people just put cheese all over the nachos. Sometimes you get it melted on there. Everything's a little different.
Right.
I'm not saying one way's better than the other. This is just our take on it, and we think it goes really well.
A little bite to that?
There is a little bit of bite, especially the chili sauce. It's got a little bit of a sting to it, but it's nothing that nobody can handle. If my mother can eat it, anybody can eat it. Then we cover it in diced tomatoes, some pickled jalapenos, and a little bit of cilantro, and top it off with sour cream. And we're talking straight for the house. I mean, good stuff.
I know this is available at Sweetgrass Next Door, but why the beef brisket instead of just the usual barbecue?
You know, everybody does barbecue in this town. We didn't want to do that. A lot of people do, you know, ground beef in other towns. I mean, it's just any little take. I mean, the braised brisket. I mean, this is what Cam Newton's dabbing about. This is Cam Newton's dabbing about the brisket. This is what we wanted to try to portray.
How about when somebody is trying to figure out, they have, let's say, 20 people over for a party for the Super Bowl. How much do you make?
You know, my go-to is typically about 3 ounces per person on the beef. As far as the nachos and stuff go, put a ton of chips on there. If they don't eat them, who cares?
Right.
Some of them get soggy anyhow, so really that bottom layer is trash. So the top ones are what you're going to go in for. Nobody's going to eat that bottom stuff. There's nothing on them. They're soggy. So put a ton of chips on, mound up about 3 ounces a person on the beef, and then just kind of put whatever you want on top of it.
But again,
like I said, there's no wrong way.
The chili sauce, the cheese sauce, we're going to put those recipes online. And again, you go with the beef brisket. It looks delicious.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Hey, that's just one of the things.
It's been a big hit so far.
Yeah, we'll move this over here, and then we're going to get to these wings, and we're talking about some special wings, blackjack barbecue wings with butternut squash. What?
You know, this actually happened at my house. A bunch of us, it was during the Ole Miss Florida game. A bunch of guys came over. We were like, let's do a bunch of different types of wings. Let's grill them instead of fry them. Let's try some stuff. So we grill our wings. I like to brine them. day ahead of time, about 8 to 12 hours on brine. I usually use about a quarter cup of salt to about 4 cups of water. Just kind of let them sit in there. It helps keep them juicy and tight. When you go to grill them, they don't dry out. A lot of times you eat grilled wings, they're dried out.
No question.
And it's not good. So we grill our wings, and then we take our butternut squash, cut it in half, seed it, and score it. And then we just put it on the grill with it for about 45 minutes, and it cooks it nice and soft. And then we slice it up, and we use the Blackjack barbecue sauce, which has got a little bit of a bite to it. It's got a little spice. Tossed with the sweet butternut squash. It's out of this world.
What's in the Blackjack barbecue sauce?
It's a coffee-based barbecue sauce, which a lot of people aren't used to around here.
Coffee-based?
Coffee-based. It's got a little more robustness to it. It's got a kick to it. It's not going to keep you up all night. No caffeine or anything like that. But it just gives it the flavor.
Okay, let's get serious here. Butternut squash. People, I'm going to a Super Bowl party.
Butternut
I'm going
squash.
to eat junk food. I'm going to get heavy, and then I'm going to go on a diet the next day. But this is something that's good for you.
Yeah,
Squash,
I mean,
right? It's a little like almost like
Everybody
a
thinks it's
vegetable, I
just
guess?
celery and carrots.
Right, right.
You can do anything with it. We've done. We did an Asian style with like broccoli, and you don't have to do that. You can do anything with it. And I just give them in here, give them a nice toss, and serve it up. Everybody loves it. I like to throw scallions on top of it. Just adds kind of a little onionness to it. That's it.
And again, we'll have the complete recipe online, but give me this one more time. Once you stir this up, once you put this together, how long? You're cooking these for?
About 45 minutes on the butternut squash. The wings don't take that long. Over a grill, over a flame. Medium charcoal flame. Stick with charcoal. Adds
Okay.
so much flavor. Medium charcoal flame. Maybe about 20 minutes, 25 minutes, something like
What's
that.
the typical mistake that the layman
Turning
makes?
them too soon.
Okay.
Let them char up. Let them get nice and golden. Everybody wants to just flip stuff. You're cooling it down. You've worked that hard to get it hot on that side. Flip them over after they break away from the grill.
What about a suggestion for wings as far as, again, a party of 20 people? How many wings are we talking about here? We got some big eaters that go to my parties. I know
There
that.
are, but there's a lot of people who won't eat wings. I don't know what it is. It's kind of like a cult following. You either got your people that really love them, or the people that are like, I can take them or leave them.
Right.
Some people have issues with eating off bone and stuff like that too. So you can always go with like chicken tenders mixed in with it. I don't recommend it, but you can do it. But as far as wings go, I usually say about 2 to 3 a person, and then that way you'll have some people that eat 6 and some people that eat 0.
Is it blasphemous to say boneless?
That's not a real thing. You find me a real boneless wing. I mean, I've never seen a chicken without bones in their wings. But yeah, you can use boneless as well.
We got these beautiful wings, Blackjack barbecue wings, butternut squash. We have the nachos, and now we have these burgers that look out of this world. Talk to me about this burger, and what do we have on top of that burger, by the
Pimento
way?
cheese, just something different. I spent some time in Charleston. A lot of people put pimento cheese on their burgers in Charleston. They call it the palmetto burger, which is just a small palm tree, basically. But we use Claybrook Farm beef from Covington, Tennessee. We like to patty it out to about 8 ounces. The biggest thing I see when I go eat other people's burgers, like I go to someone's house or something, they turn into meatballs. And you really need to patty it out nice and flat, get a nice circumference on it. And the old trick is that I know a lot of people doing it works, is put your thumb in the center of it and just kind of press down.
Okay.
That'll help it to spread out evenly when it cooks and not just kind of steam up in the center and get all bulky.
Just simply put your thumb in there.
Push your thumb down in it, get it nice and thin in the center. It'll kind of grow back to the middle. It's all that, it's trying to pull back all that heat.
What do you usually cook it at? Medium rare, medium?
I like my burger at medium. Medium rare is a little too under for me on ground meat in general. So I cook mine at medium, but you can do whatever you want, especially with this beef. Claybrook's doing it well. They're in the farmer's market, by the way.
I know you have unbelievable buns that you guys serve at your place, but for folks out there, I mean, any suggestions for a good burger? What you hate is the burger and everything
Get a
falling
nice
apart.
thick bun. Nothing against, your smaller buns. If you're going to use a 4-ounce patty, they'll hold up fine. But if not, get a nice thicker bun, toast it, put a little butter on it before you toast it. It'll just give it a little more flavor.
What else do you have on here?
We like to use Bibb lettuce, a couple slices of tomatoes, and we use sweet pickles. We pickle them in-house, onions, peppers, and pickles in a kind of a B&B style. Bread and butter.
Okay, again, you gave us the tip on how to flatten out the burger as opposed to having a big old meatball. I just can't get over, Ryan, how big these hamburgers are that you can get at your place. I don't know if I can eat the wings and the nachos if I'm eating the burger at the Super Bowl
Ours
party.
come with big old hand-cut fries, too.
They're killing me here.
I like the size of the burger. I like a nice thick burger, but there's something to be said about a nice thin burger as well. Melted cheese all over it, that American cheese. But
Right.
this is just something different. It's our portrayal on it.
The pimento cheese is what's in
We
there?
got bacon in ours. So we take white cheddar and yellow cheddar, and then we chop up some of our bacon, a little bit of Duke's mayonnaise, peppers and onions, mix it all up. Oh, man.
so I do have to go on a diet, but that's okay.
After.
I can see right after.
Doesn't everybody diet after the Super Bowl?
I can sacrifice. There's no question about it. Once again, the nachos. We got the blackjack barbecue wings and butternut squash, the sweetgrass nachos, which you mentioned, with the beef brisket. And I'm reading off this. And then we have the sweetgrass cheese sauce. We have the sweetgrass chili sauce. We have the pimento cheese burgers. It is outstanding. Ryan, thank you so much. We appreciate it. Go visit him, Sweetgrass next door. Terrific stuff from Ryan. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Big thanks to Ryan, who let us try everything he made, and it was delicious. Also, props to Patrick and Denny Riley from the Majestic Restaurant for helping set it all up. Now, to get the recipes from today's show, go to WKNO.org/SportsFilesRecipes. Hats off to the Memphis Tigers and head football coach Mike Norvell and his staff after signing their first recruiting class. Norvell, who joined us here on Sports Files just a few weeks ago, called the signing class a home run. And the Memphis Open Tennis Tournament is officially underway today with qualifying. The event will run through Valentine's Day with Kei Nishikori looking for his unprecedented 4th straight singles title. And that'll do it for now. Enjoy the big game, and we'll see you next time.
Production funding for Sports Files is made possible in part by
Infinity of Memphis has moved to Germantown Road, just half-mile north of Wolf Chase Galleria, and is proud to support WKNO for its quality broadcasting and service to our community. Quality and service? No wonder Infinity of Memphis feels at home on WKNO. The Lighting Source, major line distributor of commercial and industrial lighting, including hard-to-find bulbs and fixtures, as well as a broad range of LED products. With 35 years' experience servicing lighting needs, The Lighting Source proudly sponsors Sports Files.